Do you find, you've used the word prohibition several times, do you find that people in California do actually feel that this really is like prohibition?
I think folks are finally recognizing it for what it is. When you step back and look at it, you know, if it's mostly black and it's got a white stripe running down the middle and it doesn't quite reach your knees and it's coming right for you, I'm going to go ahead and imagine that I know what that is. Now you can call it whatever you want all the way down the road. You can label it, you can throw fear tactics on it, you can, you know, draw fangs, you can do whatever you need to do. But I still know what that is. And once I take a step back and go ask a biologist, they're still going to tell me it's a skunk. So you've just got to recognize this little creature for what it is, and prohibition is prohibition. The biggest difference, however, is that in alcohol prohibition, possession was not illegal. And so we have created a multi-billion-dollar per year war on possessors of cannabis, and not just people that possess the plant, but people just with internal possession. Somebody that might have smoked it 3 weeks ago can still be arrested for internal possession because you have non-psychoactive metabolites in your system. Now talk about your Fourth Amendment rights. I mean, this is internal possession that people suddenly have access to. Never mind that the drug war has managed to trump the Fourth Amendment entirely. We have, and this is kind of—
How would you say so?
Well, your search and seizure rights go right out the window with drug war. And if you start looking at some of the extra laws that have been tacked on, you start looking at the mandatory minimums, you start looking at the overall Rockefeller laws that have come up around the drug war all the way through international treaties. Our entire society is set up around the illegality of drugs. And you know, what's scary is that many of these arrests that you see of intent to sell, the trick about intent to sell is not that you ever got caught selling anything. It's that you have it in 2 bags, or you have it in multiple containers, or you have money at the same time that you have medicine, or you have a scale at the same time you have medicine. Maybe just because you're weighing your own stuff, not necessarily that you're trying to weigh it out to sell to somebody else. So most of the arrests for intent to sell, any officer that comes across a certain set of circumstances is actually almost required or expected to you know, put that case on someone in addition to possession. Not that they did anything, but that it was assumed, which kind of takes me back. There's a movie about that with Tom Cruise where they slap you in jail just before you even, what is it, Minority Report? Yeah. Before you even do anything wrong. And so our drug laws actually will have you convicted of a crime that was imagined you may have committed. Now if I walk into your fridge, let's make the alcohol analogy again, and open up and find that 6-pack, I don't consider that intent to sell.
I was just going to ask whether you'd say 30-pack is like a...
You know, you look at how much sugar or flour you might keep in your house, and you realize even just how much a pack of cigarettes weigh, and really what is 1 ounce for an adult consumption? So this is really what we're talking about, is just to allow people to make the safer choice. Folks have realized current policy has failed. We have an opportunity to have safer communities if we control and tax cannabis, and multiple levels of society will benefit as a result, you know, the least of which is going to be law enforcement.